What's your confidence level? Take everything in your life, average it across the board, and give yourself a score out of 10. Where do you end up? You think you're getting that promotion? Landing that dream job? Do you think you're going to buy a house before you're 30? Do you think your place is nice enough to bring somebody over to? Do you think you've got enough of it figured out to matter? On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? Are you near the top? The middle? Are you dipping under 5? Are you considered tying up that noose but not sure you'd be able to pull it off? Or are you mindlessly browsing the web looking for little side projects to fill up your time? Things to take your mind off the hard questions. Things that with $50, an arts and crafts store, and 6 to 8 hours of mediocre work, you could produce another cheap piece of crap that'll look nice for 3 weeks before falling apart and getting recycled because you care about the environment, just not enough to stop building mindless crap. Well, rejoice. There will now be a few less of these manky time sinks to worry about following the death of none other than Kian Hassan, a legendary do-it-yourselfer whose ripped bod and charming smile never failed to bring subscribers back for more, until he was forcibly reassembled into a homemade coffee table, largely following his own tutorial techniques. So let's take apart this dovetail and see what manner of dollar store LEDs and contact paper comes tumbling out. I am your host, Ben Robinson, and here's what we know. True to IK form and fashion, a clue was posted, a person was murdered, and the just desserts were delivered. If you'd like a full artistic breakdown and postmodern critique, I'm sure Isaac Curtis out there right now, mulling it over, enjoying a nice Chianti. Now, unfortunately for Kian Hassan, he wasn't always worthy of IK's list. There was a time when his online career began when his projects were joyful, playful, and even, dare I say it, useful. He took pride in his work, subtle scented candles, a picture frame key holder, a piano board dining room table. His work had merit. It was creative. He, unlike so many others, actually had some skill. It was the kind of stuff people would look at and go, oh, you did that yourself. Oh, it's so lovely. And for a time, things were lovely. Until they weren't. As everyone in a creative field has and if not will discover, Kian Hassan fell under the curse of the dreaded creative impotence, the mental ED. And so rather than take a break and make something in confidence, he began producing crap. Have an old bookcase? Contact paper it. Old desk? Contact paper. How about something you contact paper before? Screw it! Why stop there? Get the contact paper and do it with stripes this time. And as usual, his fans ate it up. Project after project, Hassan churned them out like a Pez dispenser of gold-polished turds, and it was around this time that IK added our handyman to her list. Kian was found about 48 hours after his estimated time of death when his girlfriend reported him missing. He was found dismembered, varnished, lacquered, and reassembled, his smiling, jacked bod preserved forever beneath 4 layers of polyurethane and a tastefully chosen soft-mouth contact paper. A typical IK kill, or was it? For those familiar with Kian Hassan's work, for the true fans who had been watching for years, there was something eerily familiar about his final project, and that was the striking resemblance it bore to his first. Which makes me think that perhaps IK was a little more invested in this one than she wanted to admit. Some of the other victims so far have been brought to her attention through relatively recent events, but not Mr. Hassan. While victims like John Johnson and Kelly Lime were doing themselves no favors to stay off the list, Kian Hassan's only crime was mediocrity and a steadily declining viewership. So could it be that our killer was once an avid fan of his show? And unlike the other subs, who were willing to let Kian continue the downward slide into mediocrity, she decided to step in and protect his legacy in her very own special way, as only she could. Now, according to neighbors, Kian had spent a longer than normal time working in his workshop that fateful day, and that there was a period of an hour or two when the power tools were going full throttle. Which brings me back to confidence. How confident are you? Confident enough to chop a man to pieces with power tools and spend a couple hours doing it? Confident enough to do it with witnesses in earshot? Confident enough to walk out the front door after you'd finished? And confident enough to know that you're getting away with it? So next time you're freaking out over a big decision or chanting the latest mantra out of your self-help handbook, just stop and think for a moment. What would IK do? Would she cower in the corner, or would she just get out there and do it with confidence? Now if you're thinking to yourself, wow, that's actually not a bad idea. Well, you just took some self-help from a serial killer. What the hell is wrong with you? That's all I've got for you. Good night.